Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Avatarvarishtaya Ramakrishna te namaha. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. The message of Vedanta has been very clearly given in this prayer. That is, we should get out of the darkness of ignorance. How to do that? Bring the light of knowledge. Light the light of knowledge. Darkness of ignorance definitely will vanish. That is the message of Vedanta. And another important message it gives you is that you should get away from the illusion you are confronting with. You should get out of this unreality towards real. As long as you are in the realm of unreality, you are suffering all the time. So here is the message. Get out of this unreality. Don't cry anymore. I am suffering, I am suffering. You will be suffering all the time. You will continue to suffer as long as you are in the realm of unreality. So that is a clear message. And another important message Vedanta gives you: why are you constantly in the grip of fear of death? You are not to fear. You are immortal by nature. Because you have, for some reason, forgotten your true nature, so you are suffering. So you are always under some stress and strain of fear. Fear is always hovering over you because you are living in unreality, because you are living in the darkness of ignorance. So now, this is the dynamic message of Vedanta. Why don't you follow the teachings and rectify the mistakes in your life? So, first of all, you must hear the message very clearly. And that message has been given very clearly. So, the message of Vedanta clearly points out to you to get rid of ignorance by lighting the lamp of knowledge. You must get out of this unreal illusion to the reality, and you must realize your true nature of immortality. These are the principal teachings of Vedanta. And here is a person who manifested all these messages, who translated these messages into the language of the people, made the people understand and made the people follow, and blessed the people through this dynamic message of Vedanta. And that person was none other than Swami Vivekananda, whose worship we are performing on January this same month. Next Sunday I will be offering worship to Swami Vivekananda, one of the greatest personalities in Chicago. Well, January is the month of Swami Vivekananda. December, the month of Christ. December is the month of Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi. January is the month of Swami Vivekananda, one of the greatest, the foremost disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. And February is the month of Sri Ramakrishna, who was born on February. So, this January, always the new year, has this dynamic person in the forefront, Swami Vivekananda. We have started new millennium. We have entered into the year 2000, and here is the beacon light of Vedanta. Come near the light, enjoy the beauty of light. Vedanta is the sun of knowledge, and where is the room for suffering? Where is the room for fear? So, it is very appropriate and important to study Vivekananda. Vedanta means the universal religion. Universal religion means sum total of all religions in the world. That means all the teachings, the noble teachings of the various religions of this world, they are all integrated, merged into the universal religion of Vedanta. To put it in other words, all these religions have got their source in Vedanta. That means the Vedanta and all the religions of the world are inseparable. Can you separate the rays from the sun? You cannot. In the same way, all the religions of the world are eternally connected to the source. The source is the sun of knowledge. The sun of knowledge is Vedanta. Vedanta means the science of knowledge. To know the truth, to know thyself. That is Vedanta. Now I have given you the introduction to Vedanta in a very brief way. And so here is the incarnation, Vedanta. Vedanta in person. You find Swami Vivekananda. His previous name was Narendranath. The meaning itself is very sublime. The meaning of Narendra, Indra means Lord, Nara means human, the Lord of the human beings, or you can say King of the human beings. That means the King of human qualities. He manifested tremendous human qualities. At the same time, he manifested his divinity. Each soul is potentially divine. That is the principal message of Vedanta. You are divine. Is it? Yes. Your divinity is clouded. Your divinity is not being able to recognize an account of the cloud of ignorance covering the truth. The sun is remarkably great and glory. But see the sun today. Even though the sun is shining, you are not able to see properly an account of the snow or cloud covering the sun. Once that cloud is dispelled by the sun's heat, when the cloud is cleared off, because cloud cannot stay forever, it has to move, and it will move, and it will go. But as long as the cloud remains, you are not able to see the sun properly. In the same way, as long as the sun is covered by the impurities of the mind, you are not able to perceive or realize or experience your divine nature. So, the practice of religion means how you are able to remove these impurities from the mind. How you are able to do that? That is the process you have to adopt. Application of the teachings are called spiritual practice. In other words, discipline, spiritual discipline. If you practice spiritual discipline, it tremendously forces the impurities to vanish from the mind. It makes your mind clean and transparent. Clean and transparent. Then you will see the immense glory of Vedanta, the immense glory of your divine nature, and you are in ecstasy. In the Sanskrit word, you are in samadhi. Samadhi is a state where you are directly in communion with the divinity, which is called God. You are directly in commune with God, so you get into ecstasy. You are no more identifying yourself with this petty body, with this petty mind. You are no more identifying with the pettiness of the world. Once you have experience of the truth, realization of God, the darkness of ignorance is vanished forever. I hope you have understood the significance of Vedanta. And if by applying Vedanta, you will be able to face suffering without grumbling, and you will be able to interpret suffering in a way that enriches your meaning to life. Then you will reach a state where the things of the world will not shaken you, where you will be able to maintain your equanimity, the tranquil state, a state where you are not shaken by anything, by any circumstances. That means your mind has become stable and strong. Stable and strong. One can realize the truth only when the mind is stable and strong. One cannot realize the truth if one is weak. Physical weakness, then mental weakness, intellectual weakness. These weaknesses degrade the person. These weaknesses pull down the person, will not allow the person to realize the truth. So your immediate attention should be how to strengthen yourself in every respect, in every aspect, physically, intellectually, and mentally. When you become strong in all these aspects, you become eventually spiritually strong. Once you become spiritually strong, you become the embodiment of strength. You become qualified recipient of the experience of the divine. So, how important it is to give attention. Not only attention, to act upon without a moment's delay, because the lifespan is running on. It won't wait for anyone. The nature of things is to run. The whole universe is running. Planets are moving. Everything is moving, constantly moving. Constantly running. Why we are getting this winter season? Because the seasons roll. They are rolling down. Running and running. The whole creation is running and running. It won't wait for anyone. It doesn't wait. Waiting is not its nature. So when you know that fact, don't you realize how time is very precious? Where is the time to spend? In club, in playing useless things, in engaging the mind in worthless things? Do you waste the time like that? If you are wasting the time, not utilizing the time properly towards realizing the truth, then you are all the more in deep ignorance, and you are all the more in more suffering, you are all the more in stress and strain. You may take up any religion you want to, as long as you are not aware of the preciousness of the time, as long as you are not putting into practice the teachings. Whatever religion you may follow, it won't affect you. Your suffering will remain with you. Any amount of your complaining to God, even going to the extent of denying God, will not help you to get over suffering. The more you deny God, the more you are in for more terrible suffering. Because you can't achieve the nature of divinity as long as your mind is downloaded with impurities. It has become so weighty. It has become so terrible. You can't think properly. That is because of the burden of the mind. You have lost all the power of the mind because you have not handled the mind properly, because you have no control over the mind, because you are dancing according to the tune of the mind. These are the extremely negative aspects which are degrading your personality which are taking you away from your true divine nature. And so, should you not open your eyes? Should you not get awakened yourself? Should you not rekindle yourself? Should you not try sincerely towards realizing the truth? Should you wait for the time? Will that time come to you if you keep waiting like that? So, that is the fact I am placing before you. The fact for you to think deeply and then act upon quickly. Think deeply and act upon quickly. So, Swami Vivekananda, born in 1863, left his mortal frame in 1902. He just lived for 39 years only. In that 39 years, first his childhood years are gone, say about up to 15 or 18 years. Afterwards he came in touch with Sri Ramakrishna. Again after 10-12 years, then he was exposed to the world to give this dynamic message of Vedanta. Once the message was given, he just threw away his body. No more, this body is required. He himself has said, this body cannot contain the spiritual power, it is bursting out. Bursting out. So, Swami Vivekananda's message, mission was bringing God to man and awakening man to God. By doing that, he became the real Vedantist, a dynamic Vedantin, the person who was 100% Vedantin. That means there is no trace of ignorance in Vivekananda. He was a son of knowledge. All the Upanishadic knowledge was on his tongue, was in his life. He practiced what he taught. So, whenever anybody would see him, they were so much drawn towards him. Such a tremendous magnetic power. Swami Vivekananda gave out. That magnetic power was due to being a Vedantin. That's the beauty of Swami Vivekananda. So, it is very rare to have such person of such immense practical application in life. And here we have. Everything is given here. Everything is shown to us. As I said, you must open your eyes. You must open your mind. You must become sincere and serious. You must become intensely practical. Then you will become a true Vedantin. A true Vedantin is one who is practical intensely. He doesn't waste his time in debates or in talking useless things. He has no time. If he gets even half an hour time, he will spend that half an hour in a useful way. Either meditating, either praying, either offering worship to God, or knowing more about the spiritual ideas. That's the way how you have to regulate yourself. If you don't regulate your life, life is gone. Life is gone. And it will go. It will definitely go. When the hour of death comes, if you ask the question yourself, how far, what I have achieved in this life, you will be disappointed to know that you have achieved nothing. Of course, you have achieved one thing. What is that? Big zero. That you have achieved. Wonderful. Be proud of it. So, Swamiji's teachings are very important to apply in our life. In this age, in these modern times, where people are confronted with so many forces opposing the spirituality. So, Vivekananda, he stressed upon building up your strength in all aspects. And there's a famous Upanishadic statement, the knowledge of Atman is never for weak. It is declared once and for all. You may be in any religion. If you are weak, you are gone. It's not that, you have taken Hinduism and you will realize truth. Never. Whether you practice Hinduism, whether you practice Christianity, it is totally immaterial. It's not what religion you are taking, it is what practice you are doing. So, the result comes by what you practice, not by simply adopting religion, not by simply converting from one religion to another. Today, I practice Hinduism. Tomorrow, I will go to Christianity. Day after tomorrow, I will go to Islam. Day after tomorrow, I will go to some other religion. And afterwards, I will become agnostic. That is the death of your personality. To become agnostic, to become pessimistic, to lose all faith, you are destroying yourself totally in that process. You are destroying, ruining. Samshayatma vinashyati. Bhagavan Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, a person of doubtful nature is destroyed. All these demonic qualities you are seeing in the world today is because of terrible non-spiritual ideas attacking your mind all round. So, not only you have lost your true nature of divine, you are losing your human qualities also. You become worse than human being. Worse than human being. All the faculties you had are simply annihilated because you did not give proper attention, because you did not practice the life of discipline, because you are careless, because you are egoistic. You can add any number of because. So, mind has become useless. Because the mind has become useless, you have become useless. Because you are identifying with the mind, so you are useless. As the mind, so you are. If the mind is stupid, you behave in a stupid way. You have no guts to correct your mind. You have no guts to get over your stupidity. On the other hand, you harbor your stupidity. In that process, you become more and more stupid, more and more foolish. So mind has got tremendous, immense power. The God's power, the infinite divine power of God is manifested through mind. If that mind is kept clean, you will see how it has got tremendous power. You will be astonished. Does this mind have so much power? It has. Don't for any moment think it's a story. It's a fiction. No. Mind has immense power. I'll give one example. That immense power of divinity is manifested in a person who is a true Vedantin, who is the dynamic Vedantin. You will see this tremendous power of mind. And here is a person, Swami Vivekananda, the dynamic Vedantin. Once he was in London, he was giving a talk. Lots of people attended. After the talk was concluded, Swamiji said, well, all of you have heard my talk. Now, you ask any question you want to. Write down the question on a piece of paper. Keep that paper within yourself. Don't disclose the question which you have written on the paper. Keep it to yourself. I will answer all your questions. Isn't it amazing? He allowed about 15 minutes for the people to write down the questions. When that was over, Swamiji stood up and began to answer. He said, question number 1. He began to spell out what the question a person has written. Not only that, he said his home address. Can you imagine? Home address, street name, town's name, all the particulars he is giving. He has not seen that person. He has not seen that letter, what question the person has written. But Swamiji is answering one by one. People were stunned. People were stunned. Swamiji, how is it possible? How is it possible to exercise such power? And Swamiji says, it's because of the power of Vedanta. It's because of the power of truth. When you have realized the truth, nothing is secret. Everything is revealed. The moment you stand before me, I know what you are. Definitely I know what you are. If you know what he is, that means he has realized the truth. Because the very fact that nothing remains hidden to a person who has realized the truth. Everything stands open and revealed. That's why you could see Lord Buddha, who experienced the highest truth, the truth of Vedanta. He could understand anybody and everybody, and there is no trace of fear in Buddha. A famous dacoit of the time, Angulimal, who was terrorizing the whole town. So Buddha went there to meet him face to face without any fear. And how that rascal was transformed. Rascal became saint. That means all his sins were simply vanished by the burning heat of Buddha's love. Buddha's love and compassion penetrated into the dacoit's heart and just wiped away all the impurities of him and made him a great saint. He became one of the greatest saints. You read Buddha's life, you will see how the dacoit became a saint. That means never condemn yourself a perpetual sinner. If you condemn yourself as a perpetual sinner, you will be in perpetual hell. That means you will be always suffering, suffering and suffering. Up to what time? Infinity. Because everything is infinite in the world. Suffering, infinity. Happiness, infinity. Anything, infinity only. So, power of the mind is like that. There's another instance. Once Swami Vivekananda was talking about the immense capabilities of mind, and he was teaching them Raj Yoga. There was a wealthy man sitting in the audience. He stood up. He thought he was a wealthy man, and because of that wealth, he had developed a false ego. He thought himself to be too important and nobody else is recognized or considered significant to him. So he began to ridicule Swami Vivekananda's teaching, and he was challenging Vivekananda. Well, you are talking so much about mind and you are teaching Raj Yoga. Can you tell me what is in my mind? He's challenging Vivekananda. That poor fellow, that poor guy does not know this Vivekananda is not like ordinary being. Vivekananda is the son of Vedanta, son of knowledge. For a while, Swamiji just ignored him. But this fellow began to persist. What? Tell me what is in my mind. When he shouted like that, Swamiji could not keep quiet. Well, this fellow must be taught a lesson. He was talking with the audience, there was people, many people. Suddenly he turned away his eyes. He was facing the audience and speaking. That guy was standing in a corner. So Swamiji, what he did was, when it became serious, he suddenly turned his gaze upon that fellow, the wealthy man who was put in question. He just looked into his eyes. Just looked into his eyes. Looking in what manner? Looking very concentratedly. Looking at him, at his eyes, very concentratedly. That deep looking, that penetrating looking had tremendous effect on that person. He began to feel himself that his whole mind is being churned, and all the secrets of what he had in his mind might be exploded any time. And that guy became extremely nervous. Extremely nervous. His whole body was shivering. Well, Swami, please don't reveal. I know you can do that. That fellow is crying now. Please don't reveal, because all the people will know what sort of wealthy man he is. Everything will be revealed in no time. He was feeling a scratching sensation in his mind, scratching every bit of the mind, taking out all the information of the mind out from the mind. He felt that and he immediately begged for his pardon. Please excuse me, please forgive me. And Swamiji was Lord Buddha himself in compassion. Acharya Shankara himself in his intellect. Tremendous compassion Swamiji had. And so he said, well, that's enough. I don't have to teach him anymore. That's enough. He has realized what I am. Then he forgave him. Afterwards, that wealthy man became silent and serious. So, Swamiji gave awakening to all the people. He gave the awakening. He gave that spiritual awakening to the people in the West who are totally ignorant of these ideas, who are always thinking, oh, they are sinners and sinners and sinners and sinners. Burying literally themselves in the mess of sin. And Swamiji here came to, no, never condemn yourself as a sinner, never. Aspire for knowledge. Aspire for spiritual knowledge. You will see how it is laughable to be called as a sinner, and how it is supremely enjoyable to realize the truth. So, Swamiji's message of Vedanta is the message of the integration of the four yogas, the path of knowledge, the path of action, the path of meditation, and the path of devotion. Integrating all these into one, that's the goal of Vedanta. Himself was like that. Master of devotion. It is said Swami Vivekananda gave the knowledge of the Spirit to the world. He was looking supreme, a man of supreme knowledge, immense devotion, unparalleled devotion,
Devotion translating itself into love and compassion. When he was initiated by Sri Ramakrishna into Rama Mantra, for 1 week he had no outer consciousness. He was all the time constantly repeating Ram, 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 Ram. And tears flowing through the eyes. Not because of sorrow, because of ecstasy. He could not contain. That joy was expressed through tears. Immensely joyful. And he has found out what a tremendous joy it is to be a devotee. So the path of devotion gives you the experience of the taste of supreme knowledge. In order to taste the supreme knowledge, you must have tremendous devotion. And then, how is love and compassion translated into action? A karma yogi of the supreme order. Do you want to see a karma yogi? Go and see Vivekananda. 100% he was selfless. Always to give and give and give. By giving more and more, you becoming more and more less and less egoistic. You will become less and less egoistic, not more and more. You will become less and less egoistic. You will become more and more humble. You are destroying your demon, ego, which is responsible for all the suffering. The only way to kill this ego is to do service to the humanity. Love them immensely. Don't distinguish between poor, rich, between this community, that community, etc. Erase them. Never even think of in those terms. Never even think in those terms. Your thinking only should be, I love everyone in this universe because everyone is a part and parcel of God. Finished. That's the Vedanta teaching. Isha vasimidam jagat yatkincha jagatyam jagat Isha vasimidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. That's the Upanishad statement. The Vedanta declares everything in this universe is enveloped by God, God's consciousness. And Swami Vivekananda knew it by realization. So no one was a stranger to him. No one was a stranger to him. And his love was poured to the maximum. Swamiji himself said, I have done work which would go for thousands of years. Swamiji's statement, I have done. I have sown the seed. Whoever is ready, whose heart is ready, it will sprout there. So, that is Vivekananda. And then, this moment he was working, next moment he goes to the meditation hall and meditates. When he sits in meditation, you must see his person on the right side of Sri Ramakrishna, that is Vivekananda, which I am talking about. See how he has sit. Straight. Backbone perpendicular. Straight like a stick. And look at his eyes, how you can see, how he is seeing inside, not outside. He is looking into his own Atman. Once in Calcutta, in Belur Math, we have got Ramakrishna Mission headquarters there. Swami Vivekananda was sitting under a tree and meditating. It so happened, there was another person who was also sitting for meditation with Swami Vivekananda. After some time, the other person just opened his eyes. Just he opened his eyes and looked at Vivekananda. There was no Vivekananda there. He was stunned. What happened? But there's one form there, but Vivekananda is not there. And he came close and saw why he was not seeing Vivekananda's form, actual form. Then he was shocked to see the whole Vivekananda's body was covered with mosquitoes. Calcutta is famous for mosquitoes. Black. Hundreds and hundreds of mosquitoes covering his body and punching him. Still he is not conscious of the outer world. Still he was sitting like a stick, not conscious of the outer world. Oh, this person saw and he began to shed tears. I have not seen a person like this. I have not seen a person like this. Concentration means more than 100% concentration. So, that is Swami Vivekananda. When he came to meditation, he was master of meditation. When he came to karma, master of action. When it comes to devotion, master of devotion. When it comes to jnana, master of knowledge. We have got three acharyas. Madhvacharya, who advocated dualism. Ramanujacharya, who advocated qualified non-dualism. And Shankaracharya, who advocated non-dualism. And here is Swami Vivekananda, Yugacharya, who integrated all these acharyas into one. Is it not supremely great? And Swamiji says, all these yogas, they're all helping. They're all complementary. One supplements the other. Develop all the faculties. Every one has that capability. Develop that. That is Vivekananda's ideal. Vivekananda's ideal. Vivekananda's ideal is, let your heart become compassionate like Buddha. Let your intellect become bright like Shankara. That is Swami Vivekananda. If you practice what Swamiji has said, then you will also become a dynamic Vedantin like Vivekananda. Thank you very much.